extensive form of game. Now this is one example of how to represent any game in an extensive form. Now in this, as you guys could see, that there are two players, player 1 and player 2. Okay. You can also observe that player 1 is making an initial choice, and this one is the initial node. This one, initial node of player 1. Now, player 1 has a choice between X and Y. Then player 2 comes after observing whether player 1 has chosen X or Y. Given player 1 has chosen X, then comes the node of player 2. Okay. Player 2 again has two choices, A and B. Conditional on whether player 1 has chosen X or Y. This one is the initial node, and for this game it is also non-terminal node. The game is not ending here. But this node, these nodes, these are terminal nodes. At these nodes, game ends. Also, these are the payoffs of these players. 2, 4, 1, 0, 3, 2, 4, 1. 2 is the payoff. The upper payoffs are for individual 1. These upper payoffs. And lower payoffs are for individual 2. That is player 2. Now let us interpret these payoffs. If individual 1 moves X, given that individual 1 has chosen X, individual 2 has two choices, either to choose A or B. Then he will look at the payoffs which he is going to get from A or B, conditional on individual 1 has chosen X. His payoff is greater when he chooses X, when he chooses A, given individual 1 has chosen X. Okay. So individual 2 is going to choose A when individual 1 has chosen X. Supposedly individual 1 would have chosen Y. In that case, again individual 2 has two choices, A or B. He will again look at the payoffs which he is going to get from A or B. He is getting a higher payoff from playing A. So he will choose A again. So whether individual 1 chooses X or Y, individual 2 chooses A. Now, when individual 2 has chosen A, now individual 1, and individual 1 knows that individual 2 will choose A, then individual 1 is going to compare his payoffs at A. Now his payoff is higher at 3. That is, and he knows, individual 1 knows that he is going to get 3 if individual 1 chooses Y and then individual 2 chooses A. Is that okay? So this is the equilibrium of the game. Am I clear on this? Individual 2 has two choices. He has made the choice to choose from A. Okay, so he'll be choosing either this A or this A. Now individual 1 knows that individual 2 is going to choose A. So individual 1 is going to compare his payoffs. Now his payoff is higher when he chooses Y and individual 2 chooses A. So this is the equilibrium of the game. Now, this game is like perfect information game. Everyone knows what everyone is going to move at. That is, player 1 is moving first and player 2 knows this. And he's going to make his choices after observing player 1's choices. So this is a perfect information game. Later on in the course, we're going to see imperfect information game and how does equilibrium evolve under those games.